I'd like us to have a minute of silence.
If I get invited to something, if I don't want to go there, I'll tell them from the get-go.
Yeah, Favour will say,
sorry,
yeah.
I can't make it. Hey, watch out for 2 months. I'm gonna come back with a 6-pack.
And I just don't think the apps are for me. I think I just need to physically vibe off a person. Hi guys, welcome to episode 28 of the First Girl podcast. I'm Jen.
And I'm Favour.
And this week we took a minute of silence for the Queen Elizabeth as she has passed away. And then we also talked about mental health in the UK.
That was a very quick. That was a very quick jump. Yeah, guys, we went into details. We got a bit personal, expressing how we feel about mental health, like trying to understand if it's the UK or if it's actually our state of mind.
Yeah. And
then we went to talk about Jen's dating series.
Part 2. You will enjoy it this time, guys.
Oh my gosh, guys, welcome.
Welcome. It's the spot.
I don't know how that tastes nice to you.
Did you taste it?
No, I can tell that it's not gonna taste nice.
I can tell you don't taste nice.
What would you want to? That's disgusting.
Yeah, well, that's life.
What would you want to taste somebody?
That is life.
Ew.
Right. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. This is.
What if it's not afternoon? What if they're listening to this at night time?
Well, you need to go to sleep if it's night time. Episode 28. Favour, what the hell?
I love it though. Talk about consistency.
Literally 28.
Anyway, I feel like the fact that we prioritize this, we always find ways. Always find a way to record for you guys.
Always. With the Lord, there is always a way.
Literally, yeah.
Always a way. But something that I clocked this week about this country, that is the United Kingdom.
Okay, here we go.
Is a level of tapness that they have. Tapness.
Okay, what happened? What happened?
Because how am I going to increase my level of starvation by 50%, which would then mean that my level of death will reach 100% because of a funeral that I will not be attending?
How are you starving?
Well, I'm not starving, but the people that need food banks are going to be starving.
Oh, they closed our food banks.
They're closing it down.
That's bad.
Food banks, doctor surgery, GPs.
But the hospital's still open, isn't it? It has to be.
I think so.
Yeah, because
I think so.
That's impossible. You can't close down the hospital.
No. I think the hospitals.
That's going to cause more deaths because of one person. Are
we invited to this funeral? Like, am I actually going to see the Queen? Like, it baffles me, Favour.
Do you know what? With the Queen, anything to do with the Queen, I'm just being careful because I know where I am. I'm on the internet, and there's only so much I can say. I just feel like there's certain things, yeah, that to me doesn't 100% make sense.
No,
but who am I?
No, because
I'm not saying nothing.
I'm actually baffled.
I have a lot to say.
It's actually been over a week. Since poor Lady Elizabeth has,
people even saying they don't even feel like she's in that coffin.
She's not.
Like they're saying that is just for display.
I just don't think
she's not actually
because
there.
Why would they keep it out there? It's like I did not receive a personal invitation in my post majiggy thing for me to be putting my life on hold for a woman that she gave me my passport, but that's about it.
Do you know? Okay, let me try and be nice. I feel like we can see in both ways. Like I understand why they're doing it, and it's actually just one day.
Yeah.
Like we're not all gonna die because of one day. Do you get it? Like after
true.
that day is done, we can literally go back to normal.
Petrol stations are gonna stop working between a certain time. So if you were going to put petrol in your car,
just do the day before then. I don't know. All I'm saying is, it's just after one day we can all go back to normal, and it's like it never happened.
But on that note, though, I do want to say, I came prepared. 1 second.
Oh God.
I'd like us to have a minute of silence. I'd like us to have a minute of silence for Elizabeth. So if it could just
No, do you know what I'm so confused about? I'm just so confused. said, who's this woman? I don't care. Now you want us to have a silence for her.
No, but like you said,
And
on the
what's the
internet.
so shameful?
Because you know when people are crying, they go to funerals.
I'm so baffled. Okay.
R.I.P. Elizabeth. You will be dearly missed.
I think you're just forcing it. It's alright. We love you, Lizzie.
But on the topic of how daft and miserable and disgusting England is, I realised, do you have the tweet on your phone?
You sent it to me.
Yeah,
You're going to read it though, because I'm
Yeah,
not.
because my phone is being utilised. But anyway, guys, how's your week been?
Yeah, guys. My week has been amazing.
It has been amazing.
Not.
She called me crying. I said, Faith, it's okay.
No.
She was close to tears.
I'll let you have that
In
one.
Favour's world, she was
Yeah,
close
I was
to tears.
apparently crying.
But I came across this tweet and I thought, you know what? It really just sums up the UK. So a woman said, yesterday at about 5 p.m, I got restless being at home and trying to rack my brain for somewhere to go. Blank. We went for a walk to Sainsbury's. The UK has no evening culture. Even Costa was closed. This is why the depression hits hard. It's work and home and F dash all else and F all else. I don't know if she's trying to swear or...
Yeah, I think she's swearing.
Okay. Yeah. England has no culture.
So what is she trying to say with this tweet though? What do you think she's trying to say?
I think she's trying to say that, because underneath that, she talks about how when her husband was caring for his father in Morocco, even if they went out at 9 p.m, there was still something to do. You could go to cafes, families were sitting in cafes. And you know what? I think it's true. I think that, like, for example, right, where I went to uni in Cumbria, it was a small town, fair enough, but I kid you not, especially when it was wintertime, by 5 p.m, the streets are dead. There was like nothing. Like, let's say I finished work or I'd be coming back from uni and it's like literally dead. The buses stop working after a certain time. It's not like there's anybody around, like you have neighbours talking. It was just like, are people alive? So I understand what she means, like, because it's like, so what do? You just like after work, after school, you just go home and that's it?
Okay. But it's like, it's one of those things, I had to think about this because when I read the tweet, I was thinking to myself, when we talk about this whole thing of like, no culture, no this, no that, people don't see that. Other people see, when people look at the UK, they see a culture in the sense that they see us as these people that are very well-spoken. We carry ourselves with pride, quite posh, this whole tea and biscuit thing. That is a culture, even though we don't see it as that.
Yeah.
So it's like, is the problem not having culture, or the problem is that we feel like the UK is boring, or is it that we're just depressed, or is it actually the UK that's making us depressed? Because I was thinking, is it actually just, is it the environment, or is it because people are just, everyone here is just depressed anyway? So regardless, if we were to move to a different country, would that make us less depressed, or is it the people? Do you get it? Because I thought about that. I was like, because she mentioned that, because when I read the tweet at the bottom, she was talking about how she goes for walks and stuff.
Yeah.
You can do that in the UK.
No, it's true.
So, because she's talking about how there's, what do you mean there's nothing to do? If you wanted to create something to do...
You probably would find something. Yeah.
So is it the UK then, or is it because you just don't like the country?
You know what? I think when it comes to the UK, I think it's a mixture of things.
Yeah.
I think it's number one, especially obviously when it gets to like autumn, winter, it starts getting dark at 4, 5 p.m. Realistically, nobody actually wants to be outside. So I get that. It could also be a weather situation. We don't have weather that, you want to be outside all the time. It's like even when it's hot, people try to stay inside because it's too hot outside. It could also be the thing that she was talking about, how there's no evening culture. Like, you'll have some places that are shut at certain times. It's not... I don't know. I think when it comes to the UK, I think it's a variety of things. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that's what it is. I don't know if it's one... And it could... Yeah, I don't know. I actually don't know.
There's other places in Europe that also have the whole thing about the weather. It gets cold. They have different seasons. They have all of that too.
Also, I think from what I've experienced working in an office, 9 to 5, whatever, it's like once you're done with work, you just want to go home.
Yeah.
So there's, unless you've already it's not that often that you will find people where maybe 3 times out of the week they're like, oh, let's go somewhere after work. So yeah, I don't know. I think it's a mixture of things. It could also depend. Yeah, it's a bit of a tricky one, Not tricky, but I think there's so many answers to it.
Do you feel like every country has an actual personality?
Yeah, 100%.
So what would you say that's contributing to the fact that we find the UK a bit depressing?
Yeah,
so because to me, sometimes I see a lot of people in the UK. We have this thing where it's like everyone just is hush hush. No one talks to anyone.
Yeah, that's one thing.
Everyone just literally minds.
We're a very individualistic society.
Yeah, everyone just minds their own business. Like you can actually move into a neighborhood and not speak to your neighbor, and it's like you walk past your neighbor like we're strangers. Whereas in other countries, people actually make the effort to want to know their neighbors. Like
that's
it's
very
like
true.
Once you've moved into that community, everyone's going to know you. Whereas here is you're literally by yourself.
Yeah.
And there could be someone that's been in their house all day. Because first of all, if you don't have a family, you're most likely going to be by yourself for a longer time.
Yeah.
And being by yourself does contribute to your mental health because as humans, we are
meant to socialize.
We're meant to socialize.
Yeah,
and if you're always by yourself, your mind is going to go to places where it's not meant to go to.
Yeah.
So that might be a thing I feel like could be contributing to the whole... Everyone thinking the UK is bad vibes, no culture.
It's actually very true. It is a very individualistic society. Like if you go to, even when we went to Portugal, when we were walking past, I remember we saw a lady, literally she was on the street and she was talking to a friend up in the house.
Like it's just everyone just talks to everybody.
But you wouldn't see that. If you saw that in the UK, like, oh my God, like can't they just go in their house?
Even when I was in Nigeria, it's like all your neighbours know you.
Exactly.
Like if my mum wasn't there, I had people to go to. Like if I needed food, it's also interesting. People back home don't actually have as much as people have here, but people back home are willing to share more because there's a community
that's
feel.
So true.
There's a community thing that's there that exists. Whereas like if you have something, I'm willing to give you. It's just like feeling like you never really feel alone unless you want to be alone.
That's true.
If you don't want to be alone, trust me, there's people that will come to you. Whereas here, even if you was a person that was social, you'd have to force it because people next to you would be like,
yes,
what are you doing? Like, I don't know you. Why are you?
And even if you were like that, there's bound to be one person thinks, oh my God, they think they're all that.
Yeah, like
just coming around making
like what do you want? Like what is it? So it might be that. But I was also thinking, okay. So when I was reading it, I was thinking to myself, let me get to my question because I wrote it down. I was like, okay, this is what I think. Is it my mental health or is it actually England? Because, for example, people say mental health is like, it's a state of mind, is nothing to do with your environment. It's just how you, it's like if you choose to feel,
in your head.
If you choose to feel a certain way, you can apparently it's all you. But I'm like, is that completely true or is there contributing factors? Because now we mentioned before, there's other contributing factors in the UK that's causing people to feel the way they feel.
Yeah.
Like for me, for example, like that's why I love to travel. Every time I travel out, it's like nothing exists.
Nothing.
Like
literally, as soon as I'm not even kidding you guys, as soon as we stepped off the plane, it was raining. I could feel mine and Ebby's energy just draining because it was a lot. Like it's there's just something about it that's just like...
So my energy wasn't draining?
I don't know. I didn't feel it from you. I don't think you're as open. But me and Ebby, because there was a sign that said welcome to England or London, exciting. Me and Ebby looked at each other and said, nah, this is not it. This is not it. But because you said it on a previous episode about how when you stopped watching like the news about Corona, you felt like it just was not that it didn't exist, but it was just out of your mind. 100% your environment contributes to your mental health. Because even I found that when I did, because my mom, when we were in the beginning of it, she was like, Jen, put the news on, how many people have died, how many people have got it, what country is it in, and you could sense the fear anxiety on her. And then when she went to work and there was like an old person that caught it, this woman wore 5 masks, 5 gloves, 5 everything.
Good for her.
But then when I made the conscious decision that we need to stop focusing on this Corona, like let's focus on what we can, like,
what we can actually control.
Exactly, and like that anxiety and that worry just left. So 100%, your environment does have an effect on your mental health. Yeah, 100%. So, I mean, I think with England, I think it can affect, it can bring on the depression and, like people, what's it called? Like seasonal depression, especially when it gets to like winter time and stuff. But at the same time, because I feel like I've been on kind of like both sides where I've let my environment affect my mental health, but I've also, if I've been conscious of it, I've also told myself, no, be in control of it and don't let your environment affect it. So again, it's a bit of a...
I feel like
England.
I get that, but I also feel like your mental health can be affected by anything.
100%.
That you allow it to be affected by.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, it's still down to you. Even though it's like, it sounds very like, it's not that easy. Of course, because even we go through stuff, but it's not that easy, but it's the actual truth and the actual reality. Like, you actually have the control over your own mind. Like, what you allow in is what causes the problem. And what you choose to dwell on is what causes the issue to escalate in your mind. Because if, for example, let's say you break a cup, two people can be in that. So imagine one person responds with like, oh, it's just a cup. Like, I'll get another one. Another person responds, oh my God, I've broken so many cups this week. What's wrong with me? It's like to internalize that, and then it becomes a whole issue because you've chosen to just focus on that problem. So I feel like it's both, because I'm like, there's people all over the world that are still depressed and they don't live in the UK and they're having issues with mental health. 100%. So is it really the environment? Because people went to Portugal, we love Portugal, but there's a lot of people in Portugal
probably people that
are depressed.
100%.
And they're living in a place that we call paradise to us. So is it really your environment, or is it actually your mental health? Like, it's actually your state of mind, it's the actual reality. But of course, there's so many things externally that we can do to improve
100%,
our mindset, which is like things like going out more, distract. Because I feel like the biggest thing for me is making sure you distract yourself. It takes me to my next.
Let's go.
My next point.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm drinking tea from Portugal, guys. Even says Cidadania.
And if you're meant to be Spanish, that is embarrassing. Absolutely.
What is Portuguese?
What's that?
I'm now becoming Italian. Carry on.
Anyways, okay. The second point is I wanted to talk about what are the negative contributing factors that causes our mental health to be in a state that it is. So you can talk about one triggers and one thing that you feel like is a baggage that you're carrying on. Does that make sense?
No.
So one trigger is like, what triggers you to go into a state of like where you feel like, oh my God, you just feel bad, down.
Yeah.
And what do you feel like? What do you feel like you've carried on with your one baggage as part of, let's say, something that's happened to you before that you've carried on, that you feel like is still something holding you back? Does that make sense? So one trigger, one baggage.
Okay. I think what I've noticed in the past when I've fallen into depressive episodes is pressure. I think for me, it's whether it's pressure. Yeah, I think mainly pressure for myself, if I can think of back of the time. And I think it makes sense because when I'm not in that state, I'm a very just relaxed, go with the flow type of person. But when it then gets to an opposite situation where I'm applying that pressure on myself, and then all the type of thoughts start coming in, you're not enough, you're not this and that. And then what people sometimes don't realize is that what goes on in your head can transfer into actions and externally. And then because you're thinking a certain way about yourself or your current situation, your environment, that's then gonna, transfer itself externally. And even if you don't think it's happening or you don't see it, because I've had that realization, the way that you might be reacting to something or reacting to someone, or your perspective of something can change, and then that's going to now reflect back on whatever the thing is, and then you're looking at that thinking, well, it's only gotten worse now, when in reality it's because your perspective of the situation or people has changed, therefore your reaction to it has changed.
100%.
And then when you see that reaction has changed and become negative, then you kind of fling it back on yourself, and then it's just a constant cycle. I'm telling you, depression is like the one, people. It's not the one. And in terms of baggage,
and also it might not just be depression. It might just be a long state of sadness, because not everyone actually has depression.
That's true.
Depression is actually a clinical term for a mental health. So not every single person has that. Some people just literally have an episode of just sadness.
That's true.
So I just want to clarify.
So depression, sadness, it's not the one.
And
baggage. Baggage. I think something that I tend to, although I've become confident, I think one thing that sometimes holds me back is how can I word this in a way that makes sense? Sometimes I feel like I'm not enough for certain people. And I feel like even though I'm like, I do deem myself to be quite confident in myself, my abilities and everything, but sometimes it comes to certain situations or maybe certain people and I'm like, oh my God, like I'm still not enough, like, you know, what more can I do? So I think that's my trigger and that's my baggage.
That's mad.
It is.
That's deep.
It is.
Oh my God. Okay, mine, I wrote it down so I don't forget. So my first trigger that causes me to, I wouldn't say depressed, because if I'm being genuinely honest, I don't think I've actually been depressed, because what people describe as depression is not something I've went through, because usually I'm sad but I'm able to bounce back, and that can't be depression.
No. It's not.
So I can't lie. But something that does trigger me to go into a state of sadness is last minute cancellations. No, I can't explain it. It's something about it, because like with me, if I don't want to do something, I'm not going to do it. I'll say no, I can't do it.
That's true. That's very true.
Unless it's something that's like, because obviously I've done it as well. I've done last minute cancellations myself, but I know for me it's still something that triggers me because of things that's happened to me before. When I was younger, feeling like people just choose to just change their mind last minute. And with me, whenever I set my mind to do something or I'm looking forward to something, I've imagined it. I've imagined being there. I'm literally
you're there,
mentally there.
Yeah.
And now all I need to do is take my body physically to that place.
Yeah,
like you're telling
true.
me it's not happening. It's like my brain sometimes is like struggling to comprehend that. Wait, what?
Like I've already been here,
like,
but
yeah.
I'm not.
Like literally everything I've actually imagined that I was going to do is not happening. And to me, sometimes everyone's different, but for me, it takes me a while to just adjust. And I'll be like, oh my days, like, why now? You could have said it the week before. Why the day before or
why
the
5
day?
minutes? Yeah.
Like, it really irritates me. That's I hate it so much. But I do it too. But
you don't do it a lot.
Yeah.
Once you set your mind to something,
I
you're
want to do it.
100%.
Yeah. But it's just like, when people, like, which is why I genuinely try my best. If I get invited to something, if I don't want to go there, I'll tell them from the get-go.
Yeah,
I can't make it. If I'm going to get there, even if I'm going to Mars, Jupiter, I'll get there. I'm being deadly serious. I'll make time.
Elon Musk.
I'll fly there. I'll get there.
She'll get there.
Because I've said I want it. I've committed and I've said yes to something. Maybe that's what it is. The whole
commitment thing.
It might be linked to that, but I don't know. I just struggle with the whole. See my mom, please buy me Jamaican food. See this woman,
auntie.
But yeah, it's something that I personally
Jamaican food.
My mom is so serious. She literally texted because she knew she called me. I'll get angry. Oh my God. So that's my
your trigger.
Something, a baggage that I know I definitely hold on to, that I've gotten better over the years though, is holding grudges.
Okay.
Like, it's not a good thing.
I've experienced that, guys.
Yeah, it's not a good thing. It's terrible. And it's something that I try my best to work, because I know it's an actual problem. Before, funny enough, 4 years ago, I wouldn't say it's an issue. I'll be like, to me, that's just like, if you do something wrong to me, why should I forget it? Do you get it? I'll be like, you did something wrong. I didn't do anything wrong to you, so why should I forget? But now I'm starting to learn that it's not every single thing I have to remember.
That's true. Because
what's the purpose of remembering it?
Yeah. Because it's only going to put you in the bad mood, not the other person.
Because especially the fact that we're constantly changing and life happens. Why am I choosing to still hold on to something that's happened before? When the person I'm seeing now is different.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, that's when I realized, okay, it's an issue. But I'm still working towards it, but it's definitely a problem. That's my baggage.
Do you have any grudges against me?
Yeah, I do. Let's talk about it after.
We will. And this is where my baggage comes in. I'm not enough!
Well, can you give me £100 though?
£100?
Yeah.
For?
So I can tell you my... No, I'm a businesswoman, you know.
I thought your grudge was I owed you £100. I said, what?
No, I don't do things for free. I'm gonna tell you how I feel about you. You need to give me £100.
I'd rather
what's
not.
What's the purpose? So
my depression, my insecurities.
You don't want to know?
No.
Okay, then
I'm okay.
So yeah, that's mine. That's definitely mine. But I'm obviously working towards it, because there's a lot of people that have 100% forgiven.
Yeah.
But it's still progress.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not 100% there yet.
My heart's beating.
You actually think I have something to tell you? Yeah, we have to give me £100 for this girl. I don't have anything to tell you,
£100 for you to then tell me nothing.
I have to tell you. I'm joking. But yeah, so that's what's happened all my days.
Oh, my glasses fell. It's the Queen spirit. I rebuke
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, so that's my contributing. Do you have any other contributing factors that you feel like actually affects your mental state?
Not really. I think when it comes to depression, it's usually just pressure on myself, which is why I've been quite recently, I've been like, stress, if I see it, I don't want it.
You run away from it.
I can't.
Yeah.
Because I know where it can take me and I just don't have time for that. Yeah, and sometimes, no, I think that's it really. I have like random like moments of anxiety and I have no idea where that comes from, but it's something that just...
You don't actually know where it comes from.
Yeah, sometimes I'll just, like this week, like I've just been feeling my heart just like anxious. I'm like, why am I anxious? It doesn't make sense. But in prayer, it will go away. But no, I think that's it. As far as I know, what I've discovered about myself, it's just when I put pressure on myself, then that's when it gets me in that type of space. And when it comes to like episodes, it's a bit of a like... I don't know if missing hit is the right word, because I have found myself in episodes where I've clocked my behaviours early on and I'm like, I need to stop. And there's been some episodes where it's like the behavioural patterns are happening and I'm ignoring them. And then sometimes I'll be like, okay, something's wrong. And I'll carry on. I won't do anything about it until I'm at a breaking point and I've broken down. And then I'm just like, oh, why did I let myself get to this point? And at that point, it's very hard for you to recover.
Yeah, 100%.
Because you're so in it at that point.
Yeah.
You're just like...
So what would you say is your worst, that you want to share though, obviously? You don't have to share anything you don't want to share, but your worst episode where you're like, oh my gosh, I don't see a way out at all.
I don't know, actually. Because a lot of my episodes that I've had, they've never been... I'm trying to think.
Do you want to, I can share mine whilst you're thinking.
Go on.
I would say mine is when I was doing my last 9 to 5. Because I just felt like, I'm telling everybody I don't want to carry on with this job, but no one was listening to me. It's more like, yeah, just do it for a few months, just keep going. And I started just making up stuff, like I was just call in sick. I was always calling in sick, and I'm like, guys, can't you see this? I do not want to be here.
Yeah.
It was horrible. Like I hated it, and I was like, I can't die for money.
No,
that's literally where I saw. So I'm like, yo. Is it because of money that I have to go through this? My mental health, I've always felt like my health, body, mentally, is more important than money.
Anything, yeah,
and
100%.
so I'm like, I'm saying no, but it's like everyone around me wasn't seen. And I'm like, why is everyone so scared of me not having money? It's me at the end. If I starve, I starve. That's the way I saw it. But it's like, no, but you don't want to. I was like, I don't care. You guys are not listening to me. So it took a while, but eventually, obviously, I left that job. But it's like, yo, to me, that was the worst. Because I was going to work and I was thinking to myself, what am I doing here? But funny enough, do you know, I thought what kept me going was the people. I actually genuinely enjoyed working with the people I was working with. It was just a job. I hate the job.
It's like that with my old sales job. There were some aspects of the job that I liked. I liked the personal development and learning about entrepreneurship and everything else. But having to stand in the street, pitch people, knock on doors, I feel like rejection after a while, you kind of get used to it. But some days, because I was actually thinking about it the other day, I was like, it's depressing because especially around like the winter time, if it's like on events, you're with other people, so it's fine. But when you had to do residential, you're by yourself, you're knocking on doors. There were some areas where they didn't have lampposts, so you're literally walking in the dark. It's cold, you're shivering, you know, you're maybe on 1 or 2 sales, and then it's like, you know, you were supposed to hit a goal that you and your leader, your manager set, and you haven't even reached it, and then you have to... Bro,
that was long. That messes with your mental. It definitely,
honestly, like, and the thing is, I don't know why. I don't know if it was the whole illusion that they give you that anybody can do it. But despite the fact that I was not happy, and towards the end, I especially like ask Danny. There will be some days me and Danny would do the first lap. We have our break. We wouldn't go back. We just wouldn't go back. Or I remember there was a time where Danny had like a surgery or something. I literally called Danny. We'd be on the phone for 4 hours. I wouldn't do work. And in my mind, I didn't really see that as a sign of like, you need to leave because you're not happy. I was like, yeah, I'm just going to come back tomorrow. Or I might lie and say I did this amount of stuff. But yeah, I get what you mean. Like, sometimes it was like the people
it's like everyone around me was just like, oh my God, no, just keep going. Wait till you have something. I'm like, all of this is amazing advice. But for me, it's almost to come to me and say, this is mentally affecting me. I'll be like, leave.
Yeah.
At that point, nothing else matters to me.
Yeah.
Because there's always going to be a way for you to eat food.
100%.
Someone, if you don't have food, somebody will give you food. If it's that desperate.
Because you're not alone.
You're like that. So I'm like, no. If someone was to come to me, if let's say I had a child or whatever it is, and they came to me and said, this job is really like messing with my mental health. Like it's making me lose hope every day. I'll be like, what? Get out, man.
Yeah.
This life is too short for you to be worried about one job, because there's so many. And it was so interesting. I just wish I left early, but I feel like things happen for a reason, because obviously I have something that's so much more better.
Yeah.
And like, what was I doing that for? It literally made I'm like, what was everyone so scared? I do what it is. People, sometimes I feel like people are just so scared to let go or something.
Is that security?
Because like you don't know what's gonna come next. But that's life.
Exactly.
You're meant to take risks.
Take those chances. Yeah.
How you can't live life on a safe. I want to be safe. I want to be safe. You're never gonna improve. You're never gonna get better. You're never gonna see your best version of yourself, because you're staying in this state of I want to be comfortable, and you want to always know what's coming next. But sometimes you're so much. Sometimes just step out. Just put your toes out.
We're not asking you to leave the house, move to another country. Just a little change of the environment.
Just step out and you see that life. There's so much more to life.
So much
I was watching a TikTok video, and it was talking. It was titled "Going Visiting the Earth." So it was like a camera that was showing the universe and going into Earth, and just made me realize how small we are. There's literally, there's more to universe.
100%.
And then there's
I think, is it a universe, a galaxy or something?
We're in one universe, but there's so many universes.
This little hole here, that's how
the universe we're in is tiny.
It's tiny.
And in this universe, do you know how small? Literally, I'm saying, as in, we're talking about Jupiter, all this stuff. This is all in one universe. There's thousands of them.
There's more. There's more that God has created. We have no idea
of, but
so it's out there. We are tiny.
And we're always trying to constantly hold on to the things that are so irrelevant.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not saying working is irrelevant, but sometimes you have to weigh your options and realize what it actually is.
There's more to it. 100%.
You can do better.
You can.
There's always better.
Always.
So if you get to a point where whatever it is, not even just working, anything, friends, family, whatever it is that's actually really detrimental to your mental health, and you're staying in this, all in the name of like, I'm scared of letting this go because I don't know what's gonna come next. What?
Unless something has been guaranteed to you, you're gonna lose your house, you're gonna be homeless. Because even if you lose your job, we have universal credit. We have no. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's not like as soon as you leave your job, right, that's it, we're going to take your house, we're going to take your car, No, there's always going to be something.
Even that as well. It comes down to the fact that, of course, we need money to survive.
Yeah.
But if your mental health is worth more to you, I'm willing to downsize my lifestyle.
100%.
That's the way I see it.
100%.
I'm willing to downsize. If it's for me to let go of that, obviously it's not easy, but if it's for me to let go, because all of this stuff is material stuff. At the end of the day, people have a lot of stuff and their mental health is still messed up.
Yeah.
So why hold on to something that's not actually doing anything?
Exactly.
All of this stuff is irrelevant. It's good to have, but all these physical things do not mean a thing. Literally don't mean anything.
And in heaven, in our Father's kingdom, we're going to have so much more. And so much
eventually,
better.
after everyone's lived, everyone's going to go, and then you don't take your house, you don't take your car, you don't take anything with you. So why would I want to die for something that I know actually means nothing to me?
Yeah. It's like when they put when Bob Marley died, and in his coffin they put weed and something. What is he going to do with that? What is he going to do with that?
So that's why I'm like, to me, I'm just like, I would always prioritize my mental health, and if it's me not doing something because I'm not ready for it, that's fine.
Yeah.
Like, but one thing I would say is, this is where I'm probably different. I will never let the way I'm feeling control my life, like to the point where I'm practically not useful to myself. Because it gets to the point where even though I'm saying, don't obviously say if anything is affecting your mental health, let it go. But then you have to sometimes think about it properly. Is it, if I let this go, is this actually the issue, or is it me?
Yeah.
Do you get it? Like,
yeah.
Because sometimes, funny enough though, working is a distraction for a lot of people, and they might not realize that. And then when they let go of working, they might
It's
even
like
become worse. Because now you're sitting in with your own thoughts now, and it's just silence, and there's nothing to distract you. And you might even become worse than you actually were
That's
before.
why you hear some people that when they lose a job, like they'll commit suicide or something like
So it's
that.
like, is it the actual job then?
Yeah.
So it's very important to really, really understand what the issue is. Because you were saying like, oh, this week I've been having anxiety, but I don't know what it is. It's, to me, I would want to genuinely find out what's the issue. It could be anything, but I would start thinking, what's causing this? Like, this can't be random. Like, whatever it is, I would want to think what's because I don't want to let go of something thinking that's what it is, and that's actually not the problem. Like, letting go of not working, for example, like, hey, I'll feel happy now, and then now you're even worse now because you have nothing to distract you. You have no money.
Hey, money, that one.
You have nothing now, so it's like, yo, now you feel worse. Do you get it? So it's just very it's just one of those things where it's very individualistic. Yeah. Like, it's not something anyone can tell you, unless obviously if you go through therapy, then they can help you find it out. But they can't even tell you what it is unless you tell them. Yeah. You open up to them.
Yeah,
like,
exactly. Yeah.
It's still a journey that everyone has to go through, like, as an individual process. Like, but yeah, talking about that.
Seek therapy.
I have another point I wanted to talk about. So how do we de-stress? That's the word, right?
Okay, yeah.
How do we de-stress, and talk about practical steps that you use for yourself that helps you feel better?
Prayer.
100%.
Prayer. Listen, guys. It's not to say that I never used to pray before, because obviously I did, but I wasn't consistent, and I wasn't, I remember Pastor said this once, that just because you're a believer of God doesn't mean that, just because you're a believer of Jesus doesn't mean that you are a follower of Jesus.
100%.
So before I was a believer but not a follower, but coming more into Christ, and literally every tiny little thing, just even if it's not a full, you're in your room, you kneel down and your hands are like this and even just a little conversation with God, and whatever the situation may be, just be like, listen, God, I trust you, I let you take control, speak to me, like, do I need to do anything, even that, because remember there was a time where I couldn't come and record. And it was like to do with, like, it was, I can't remember what it was, but I cried to you because I was so stressed. Yeah. Literally, something happened, right? Not anything like major, but something had happened. And I literally could not think of how the heck are we as a family going to get out of this situation. And then I kind of just stopped and I just prayed. I said, God, whatever is, according to your will, let it happen. Like, just, help us fix this problem. And then within the next hour or two, literally the problem went away like that.
Literally, yeah, I remember.
Like that. And Favor called me and I cried because I was stressed. But it was just the fact that it was just like, some people, I don't know, like, some people might think, oh, it's just a coincidence. Like, but the fact that I put my total faith in God, and I said, because it's a very, I guess you could say it was quite a materialistic thing.
Yeah.
But it just goes to show that sometimes just prayer and faith, because I mean, I can say prayer, but if you don't have the faith for the prayer to actually come to pass, then it means nothing.
Yeah.
But just having that faith, that just being like, I trust you that this situation is going to be fixed and there will be no stress, and it's not even going to be a thing we're going to think about. And literally, not even 5 hours later, within an hour or two, the problem was solved like that.
And also, I just want to clarify that nothing's too small to pray about.
Nothing. Like, nothing.
It might seem like is it trivial? What's that word?
Trivial.
Whereas, like, it seems it's just like, it's just material stuff. Like, someone might think, oh, God wouldn't care about this. Like, God wouldn't care about the fact that I want £10 in my account. Like, what is that like?
There will be a way.
There's other people that are suffering, but it's your problem.
Yeah.
And issues of what we take as a big deal to us is subjective. Like, to you is a big deal, and to God is a big deal because He values you.
Yeah.
So if God will value anything you come to Him for. So if it's something that's, so me, I'll say the same thing. Prayer for me, man. I pray.
Even the Bible says,
I pray about
your
it,
faith that is the size of a mustard seed is enough to move the mountain.
Because you know what it is? Prayer also sometimes, it allows you to vocalize your issues. And then it's like almost like a thing where you're talking about it. That's
why, because I remember someone at church, I don't know if I've mentioned this before, someone at church came to me and we were having a conversation and they said to me, so Jen, how do you pray? And I was like, I don't know, I just have a conversation with God. Because what I found is because I saw this one TikTok where it was just like a structure of how you can pray. And I was just like, it just seems so like...
robotic
and I can't think of the word, but just really repetitive but what I find is when I'm having a conversation with God, like I will pray, but when I'm having a conversation, there's been times where I've like done my morning prayer. I'll wake up and I'll be like, yeah, I'm just gonna spend maybe 10 minutes in prayer, read the Bible, get on with my day. I sat there for 30 minutes because I'm letting everything out. You just find yourself going
Nice. It's so important. Like I pray because I was gonna say my method of de-stressing is definitely talking about what the issue is, but prayer is prayer is one way of talking about it. Because when we say talk, sometimes it's hard to explain talking, because talking doesn't. If you don't talk to the right person, it could make your situation worse.
100%. So
that's one thing about people. Whenever I hear people on the internet say, "Oh my gosh, just talk about the issue," and it's like it's not even that, because you can talk about the issue to the wrong person, they could literally make it worse.
Yeah.
By projecting their own anxiety onto you and making you even overthink the situation that you thought was even smaller. So it's like sometimes praying is the first step for me to talk about it
100%.
and actually vocalize what I'm feeling internally, because sometimes it's hard to express what you're feeling to a normal person, because it's like the words it's not making sense, man.
And sometimes you'll have the kind of worry of like, am I saying it in a way that makes sense? Are they going to understand me? Are they going to give me?
So you're not even being free to really express it, because you're even trying to think of a way to make sure they understand you.
Yeah.
And it's like, when you really want to express yourself, you shouldn't be worrying about if they understand you. You should just say exactly how you feel.
And some people would downplay the situation, and it's just like, that's not even the full extent of what I'm experiencing or feeling.
Because it might be because of shame, or because I don't want to know about my personal issues, or things I don't
want to look a certain way. People.
God, the first
God
step is
judge.
Prayer. Obviously, after prayer, it's important to know the people you have in your life that you can go to. So I'll say, because I feel like we live in a current society where people just want to have a lot of friends, a lot of people. I just want to have a lot of people. Sometimes those people are just actually baggage, because if people are not adding any value to your life, and if you cannot comfortably go to one person that you call a friend to express how you feel, then you might not actually have any friends.
You don't.
And you might need to start from the beginning to actually find out who actually is your friend, because you can't have a bunch of, because I've heard this many times, people have a bunch of people and they can't even go to one person to express how they feel. And it's like,
mad. You're
well known, you're popular, but not one person can help you. Then
right, nails.
I had this last week.
Really?
Yeah,
I like it.
Oh, thank you.
They're cute.
But yeah, if you can't go to one person to express yourself, for me, I would say just being able to acknowledge who in your life can you actually speak to.
That's true.
I feel like I'm quite lucky. I have my mom, I have you, I have my other friends, my close friends, I have my brothers even, which is it's actually lucky, because me and my family me and my mom were always like that. I was always able to speak to about anything. But my brothers, it's like, cause I just saw them as babies. Do you know what I mean? I didn't see. I was like, what do you know? But as we grew up and I started to realize, my days,
they're actually adults. They have brains. They can think.
I'm only 2 years older. What am I feeling like?
Yeah.
And then we started having conversations, and I started to realize, my days, they actually get it, so I can speak to them. So, but that's me. Not everyone has that. So if you don't have family, because not everyone's got has a good relationship with their family, just make sure you have at least one or two people that you can express yourself to. And also, there's many ways of talking. There's prayer, there's talking to someone, is actually writing down how you feel, because once you do that, because my main focus is for you to actually understand what's going on mentally, because our mind is crazy. It goes through so many things in a second. And if you don't find a way to let that out, it can get worse.
It's a lot.
So it's like, if you just have a notepad, wherever it is, just write down. Even if it's just words, it doesn't have to be sentences. Just write down sad, confused.
As long as you're letting what's in your head out,
and you're putting a name to it, that way, because that's one thing about the mind. Is just because if you don't, because we have to compact. What's the English? you have to put it into group it.
Yeah.
You have to group it.
Yeah.
Like, if you don't make sense of what's happening mentally, it's harder to get over it.
Yeah.
Like if I'm saying I'm sad and someone's like, why are you sad? But I can't even tell you why I'm sad. It might make sense for you to just actually sit down and just write down random thoughts that come to your head, because that might help you
be able to
find out.
Yeah.
Because that happens sometimes when you just
sad.
And you're like, what? Nothing's happened today.
Yeah.
But you don't feel like anything's happened. But you don't realize our mind is quick.
Yeah.
Subconsciously, like picking up things as you're going throughout the week, the days, and subconsciously triggering you without you realizing. So you're seeing stuff and you're just ignoring it, because at that point you're probably distracted by whatever you're doing then.
Yeah.
And you're not noticing that this is a trigger for me. But because I'm so happy right now, I'm not even deep in
the
it.
mind.
I'm not even deep in it. That's the point. It's like you're not deep because you're in that. Because we're very emotional beings. We're like sometimes in the moment, because you can meet someone that's actually depressed, but when they're in a different environment, they seem happy because we're emotional, and we can still have that expression of happiness. It doesn't mean that's your state of mind. Does that make sense?
That's true.
You can actually still be able to express happiness and seem happy, but here
up there, if it's not connected.
So it's just some people get confused when they see people on the internet say, "Oh, I'm depressed," and they're like, how are you depressed?
It's like the past, I think, the past week I've probably seen about 3 posts about like a partner. It's been more specifically girls as well, about a partner where their girlfriend has like committed suicide, and they'll post like a picture, visual, and this was her like out, a couple of hours before, and you see them laughing and smiling, but
it's emotions. We have all these emotions. It's part of it. But that's why I'm like, I wanted to really like clarify that sadness
and depression
are 2 different things, because you can actually be depressed and still be able to exercise happiness, show happiness, that seem happy.
Yeah.
But when you're sad, it's like in that moment you might not be able to express happiness because you're like, I'm actually sad, but then you bounce back immediately after.
Exactly. Yeah.
So you're not depressed.
I think that's when I was going through my big depression era.
Yeah.
That's why I didn't think it was depression, because I'd be going to sixth form and speaking to you guys, and I was fine.
And you was fine, yeah.
And
but the thing is, you'd make certain statements like, huh?
Yeah.
You might not realize you was doing it. You just be like, oh, I don't even know what I'm doing here. And I'd be like, what do you mean? And then
why am I alive?
17 years old me was like, huh? I'm looking at this guy thinking, because at that point, shout out to Anissa. She's going to kill me.
Yay!
I thought Anissa was worse than you mentally, because she was going through
we were both going through it, because I remember there was a point, because in year 11, we were literally, me and Anissa, we love to send voice notes. We were literally sending voice notes to each other back and forth.
Yeah.
And we were literally talking about how we were feeling. But in our heads, it wasn't depression. It was just, this is how we feel.
So, but Anissa was a bit more vocal. So I just thought, it was just Anissa. But then when you say certain things, I'm thinking, is Jen going through it as well? Because even me, I hate sixth form. So I just thought maybe you're going through what I'm going through. Because, guys, don't go to sixth form. But anyways, I just thought you...
Take posts.
Oops. Anyways, I just thought, oh, maybe she's just going through what I was going through. But I didn't realise that it was deep.
It was deep, guys. It was actually deep.
It was deep. So yeah, I've mentioned like taking notes, writing, talking about situations. Do you have anything else you want to add?
Definitely the environment thing. If we're gonna go back to the tweet that we were talking about, I think if you're able to, taking yourself out of an environment where it's constant, because I think sometimes being in a constant environment can have an effect on you.
100%.
And where it's just, because I'm just thinking about just darkness. So somewhere where it's a bit lighter, you can maybe go somewhere where nobody knows you, because then there's no pressure of, because if I see someone that I know, I'm going to have to force it, or I'm going to have to act a certain way. So just literally taking, if it means literally hopping on a bus, going in a different part of the city and just walking around whatever, just to kind of be away from the environment that's making you feel that type of way. I think that's very important.
Yeah, no, 100% environment is it's a key factor.
Yeah.
When I was asking my question initially at the start of the podcast, the reason why I was asking if it's the environment or if it's us is because I wanted to make people realize that, of course, it's the environment. It adds to it, but it can't just be the environment. Because at the end of the day, people can respond differently to different environment based on how they choose to respond. But your environment is a massive factor.
100%.
You need to leave your house.
This is why the other day I cried, because I was like, I'm so sad in this country.
No, it's actually, no, you actually need to leave or do something.
You do.
You can't, like, the way I see it, I always say this to my parents. I say that because when I'm working, I'm like, when I work, I feel so tired after, even though I'm not physically doing anything. But it's like, I feel like our brain is a muscle, and it takes a lot of energy to do whatever it is I'm doing.
It does.
So that's why I feel so hungry after, because I haven't left my chair. But I've been using my brain.
Yeah.
So it's like, the same way our bodies can get tired, our minds can also get tired.
100%.
Because we're taking in so much information, it can get to a point where it's on overload and it's not actually making sense, and it's just responding to anything. Like, at this point, the mind doesn't know what's going on. It's just like anything that it's just responding. It's just reacting. It's more in a reactive mode now because it's not digesting. You haven't fully been able to just go to a place where you can de-stress and release everything. It's more like you're just keeping it in, and staying in the same place. Sometimes just going out. And I'm saying this is hard for me. I don't do it, but it works.
Yeah, like I remember in my old job, like I said, it was a very entrepreneurial type of like environment.
Yeah.
And they used to say, insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result.
100%.
So if you are expecting a different result, but you're not, even if it's an environment, but it's something about your routine, something about what you do, if you're doing the same thing, but you wake up and expect today's going to be a different day, but you haven't done anything for it to be different, you then can't expect anything to change or how you feel to change. So I think, prayer, writing it down, just letting out your emotions, change of environment. I think those are probably contributing factors.
Yeah, like doing something.
Yeah, that's it. Just do something.
Like, I would say even going to the gym. I'm going to start that soon, actually. Definitely. I've been saying this for years now, but guys, it works. I'm definitely going to start the gym. But you don't have to do it because there's other ways. Keep your head down. I don't know, what are you looking for?
I'm looking for the truth.
Wow.
I'm looking for the truth.
I've heard that the gym is quite good. So
because that's another way. Endorphins, echymosis, endorphins, dolphins. It releases that. It's good for you.
It definitely helps to change your environment. And another thing that I wrote down was organizing your day.
Yes.
I've noticed sometimes the reason why we can go into a state of like, oh, I'm just sad, it's because we don't actually know what we're doing. And then when you're confused, it makes you more frustrated. And then that way you're like,
oh, wow,
I give up.
Yeah.
Because nothing works. But nothing works if you don't have a plan. There's no way you can do something without planning and expect it to work. If you have no plan at all for anything, then that means you're letting life take you to wherever it wants to take you. So you're literally saying, life, I don't know what I'm doing. Take me with you. And life will take you to places.
It will take you. And then when life takes you to that place, life said, why are you sad? Because you let me take you here, so now you're sad.
Like, it will literally take you to a place where you didn't even think existed. Maybe your childhood stuff that you've probably forgotten. Because, like I keep saying, our subconscious mind is so powerful. There's things that happened to us when we was kids that we don't even remember, but our subconscious minds remember those things, and we're not even aware of them, but it's still there. Our mind doesn't really forget completely.
No.
Even if we can't completely process it, it's still there.
Yeah.
And it's still going to react somehow.
Yeah.
So if you don't take charge and take control of your day and be like, today I'm going to do this, that. It doesn't have to be a thing where it's like every minute, but just have a day, have a goal that day. Have like, today I'm going to do this. Not I wake up in the morning, I don't know what I'm doing.
Yeah, you just wake up to try and see what I want.
Like, what's happening today? Then you find out what's happening because it could be anything.
Literally.
It could be acid.
You could have said, you know what, I need to go to the bank, sort out bills, and then the next week you get a big letter from something. You're like, oh no, if you organised your week last week. No, it's nothing personal. Don't worry. My finances are sorted. By the grace of God, I'm okay.
Amen.
But that's what I mean. Like, you can't expect surprises, but if you're prepared beforehand, then you'll be fine.
Yeah, it's important to plan everything. The same way we plan other stuff. Like, I think one thing that happens is people don't really prioritize their mind.
They don't.
And you prioritize everything else, and you forget that all of these things that are happening and they're processing from your mind, because your mind literally controls your life.
It does.
Like, you're forgetting the one thing that literally controls your existence.
Like I said before, like when you're in that state where you're depressed or whatever, and then it's like your thoughts then affect externally how you react to things, and then life will be a reflection of what's going on in your head.
Yeah, because people always think, I want to get money, I want to get that. And you're forgetting that you still need the mind to accept those things. Because you can, like I keep saying all the time, there's a lot of people that have a lot of money that they financially there's no issue, but they are messed up like mentally because they haven't put that as priority, and it makes you realize that it literally has nothing to do with external things to an extent. Like it helps, but at the end of the day, there's people that have nothing and they're okay. So it's not actually what you have externally. What you have externally is an assistance, but it doesn't 100% control your state of mind.
No.
Like you actually have to plan and put your mind as priority. Do things that you know would help. Like don't, the same way we exercise our bodies. If you
exercise your mind.
If you exercise, I don't know.
Not me.
I'm saying watch out for 2 months. I'm gonna come back with a 6-pack. Anyways,
with God, anything is possible.
Yeah, I'm gonna start exercising 100%.
I want to as well, but not normal exercise. I want to do dancing because.
Oh my God, I need someone to do. Let's all go dancing then. Are you actually gonna do it?
I want to do K-pop dancing. Yeah, but I want to do dancing. What dancing do you want to do?
Like.
Salsa.
Yeah.
Salsa. I want to do something that's gonna get me sweating.
Yeah, they do. It makes you sweat.
Okay. Should we look?
I can find one. I need someone to do it. We can all do it.
Let's do salsa.
Yeah. I really want to dance.
Get my hips prepared.
Is it every day? Oh my gosh, how did you forget this?
We're not doing it.
We're doing it.
It's been ghetto.
No!
It has been ghetto this week, guys.
Yes, dating series.
It's been ghetto.
Oh my days, how did I forget? I'm so happy you reminded me.
No,
even if it's been ghetto, you still have to express. You promised the people them that you're going to do this, so you have to do it.
People them, I can't do it anymore.
What's been happening, Jen?
I just don't think these apps are for me. I had someone that commented they want to eat me for dinner. Another one.
Again. No.
Listen, I know I'm delicious Galaxy chocolates, but sometimes Galaxy chocolates might be on £100 offer. You can't afford it. Oh, that was spicy. No, but and there's just been mad things that people are saying, and it just puts. It's like I can't do it. I just can't do it.
Give me another example.
I'm trying to think of the ones I screenshotted. There was someone was like, I think I'm falling in love. Another one, people. I don't know. I'm trying to think of the ones that I saw.
Have you actually progressed with anybody? Like,
no, because I'm not allowing it to.
What? Okay. Hold on. Let's hold. Because Let's not move on. Did you just hear the key statement? I am not allowing it to. Why are you not allowing it to, Jen?
I just don't think it's for me.
Why?
Is
it because of the approach or the conversation is not flowing? That what's the actual problem?
I'm just finding, right, it's not everyone, but it's just the way that people are approaching me, first of all. Just a simple hi would be nice. The whole their intentions.
Yeah.
I think, it's like 1, 2, 3 conversation, then it's like, and I'm like, no. And I just don't think the apps are for me. I think I just need to physically vibe off a person. And UK men are not attractive. I've said this already, but then Favour, do you know what the people I've been seeing?
I don't know. Okay.
Some of you, 5% of you are okay. Not even fine, you're okay.
I think your taste is quite high.
I think it is,
Yeah, I don't know what you think you're going to get right a model.
I mean, yeah, I genuinely believe I deserve that.
Yeah, but aren't you focusing on the wrong things?
To be honest, God laid it on my heart this week. So basically, there's a TikTok girl, right? She's like, I don't know if you've seen her. Her name's Ruth. She's like dark skin and she's got a beautiful white boyfriend, right? And I was just like, if I could have someone as fine as this man, God, I will praise you forever. And then, I know you hate this, yeah, but a couple of TikToks after, I saw a TikTok, and it was talking about how, sometimes you just need someone that's going to bring you closer to God. It doesn't matter about the outer appearance. And I felt like God spoke to me through that.
No, it's true though. No, you can't. I feel like this is what tends to happen. It's obviously looks is important, but if you focus on looks, you're creating a disaster for failure.
I have.
Is that even a word? A disaster for failure.
I'll accept it.
You're just creating problems for yourself because you can't focus on looks, man. Looks, they fade away. It's important, but you genuinely can't focus on that.
It's hard. I think on dating apps.
And funny enough, though, people that don't focus on looks tend to have people that are good looking.
That's true.
It actually is ironic because it's like you're going to attract what's good for you.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, like, 'cause
Amen.
when I mean you're attractive is good for you, it's obviously when people come to you, if you don't like them, you're not obviously gonna allow it to go further. You would actually eventually find the right person for you. But if you keep focusing on you might actually not give people the chance to speak to you properly, to get to know. Because sometimes you see people for the first face value, like, oh, okay, you're not really 100% what I want, and then you speak to them and you start to realize, oh, there's more to this person, and then their face just changes, literally changes, because there's an attraction that's more than looks.
The thing is, I'm not.
It's still important. Don't get me wrong, it's important.
No.
But I'm
not even a
too
person
much.
that like goes for looks, because Favour can vouch for this. Some of the people I have shown her that I've been interested in, she's like, Genevieve, why? And it's because I like them for their personality and how they make me feel. So I'm not even a looks person, but I just feel like it's just hard.
On the app. Yeah, I get that.
It's just, so you know
Because
what?
that's all you're seeing first. You're not really getting to see their personality.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's true.
So I think I'm going to delete the app.
Oh, that's the end of it.
No.
Okay. We're still gonna carry on Jen's dating series, but that's the end of the apps.
I think for now the apps are gonna have to go to
guys.
sleep, because for now
gosh.
I think and then you know what? I wanted to be with the Spanish man.
Okay.
I don't think I want to anymore, because
Why?
I changed my location to Spain. I only got 2 hearts. That country is racist. In England, I had 50 plus likes. In Spain, I had 2. And one of them said, I'm falling in love. I said, 2. I went to the city I was born in, and nobody liked my profile.
Well, I guess that's the end of Jen's dating app experience.
The next time you'll hear about it is when I'm married, because at this point I'm done.
We are going to carry on the dating series.
I'm
I think
done.
we're just going to take it on to the streets now.
You know what it
and
is?
Meet people.
I generally don't
physically.
think my husband's in this country.
Can you just stop saying that, please? Because you don't know. Are you God?
I feel like God
Have
has
you-
taken it out of my heart.
Can you see your future? Don't touch me. Can you see your future? Because what is this nonsense I'm hearing about UK man? Everyone needs to relax, man. Are you not a UK woman? The men don't think you're for them then.
No, that's fine. Don't come to me. Don't approach me. I'm not for you. I am not for you.
I disagree.
You think...
I think you'll find someone here.
Why?
Because I just feel like you would.
No, but why?
Why do you like the why? The same for you too. Why? Why do you feel like you wouldn't find anyone here? Why?
There's a deep thing in my heart.
Me too. There's a deep thing in my heart too. The same thing you're feeling. Can you imagine asking me questions I have no answers for? What's that? I don't have an answer to that. I don't know what you're asking me.
You're trying to project yourself onto me.
No, I'm not projecting.
rebuke it.
The same way you said, I want to get married. I don't want to get married. Now look at you. Oh, I would love to have it. I would love. The same person said, guys, don't ever listen to what this girl says here. Anything that comes out of her mouth, just know it's nonsense. Listen to me. I'll tell you what she's really feeling.
Oh my gosh.
She would definitely find someone in the UK that is calm, tall, nice looking, dark and handsome. But anyways, guys,
Thank you so much.
brings us to the end of this episode.
Cariño. My husband's not here,
Please.
Favour. I can feel it in my heart.
We will carry on after the episode. Guys, thank you so much for listening.
Thank you so much for listening.
For joining us.
Yeah, we hope that you guys enjoyed this week. We hope that you took something from this episode.
Seriously, yeah, 100%.
UK is not all bad. It's alright.
Yeah.
I still don't belong in this country. But thank you guys so much for listening to this episode. We will see you next week. I think we should have an official ending. Like we should have like a singing ending.
Okay, you do it then. Come on. Yeah. Come on. Go then. That's it. Okay, bye guys.